Guten Tag. Heute werde ich Bienenstich Kuchen machen. Today I will be making beesting cake, which is a sweet yeast dough baked with a caramelized almond topping and filled with pastry cream. It sounds nice, it sounds fancy, and I want to try it out. According to legend, the name bee sting came about because the person who made the cake was stung by a bee that was attracted to the cake because of the honey. Enough talking about attraction. Let's get baking, shall we? In a saucepan on low to medium heat, add in 300 ml of milk. You can use heavy cream or half and bring to a simmer. In a heat-proof bowl, add 3 egg yolks, whisk in a quarter cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons each of flour and cornstarch. We don't want lumpy stuff, so whisk properly. Carefully and slowly add your simmered milk. You stand the risk of scrambling your eggs if you make your milk too hot and if you add it in too quickly. Put it back on the heat and whisk away until it thickens. Take it off the heat, add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, mix and cover with cling film. Make sure the film touches the surface of the custard, or else you get a skin rubbish thing on the surface. It should cool slightly before you place in the fridge. So everything was going well until it did not. My confidence level was like 1,000. My pastry cream turned out well, and this one looked like a no-brainer. I have worked with yeast so many times, but somehow I still managed to screw this one up. The exact quantity does not matter. I don't remember, plus just watch me. My number one mistake was combining recipes. Then I just winged it. I added way too much flour, and somehow in my mind I was thinking, this is actually not a real cake batter, so it should forgive me if I do some stuff. After about 1 hour and my dough refused to rise, I knew I had messed up. I had to start all over again, but this time the proper way. In a bowl with a quarter cup of lukewarm milk, add in a tablespoon of honey and 2 teaspoons of yeast. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes or until frothy. Add in 2 eggs, give it a quick mix, add 1 3/4 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar and half a teaspoon of salt. Bring everything to an almost cohesive lump before adding your butter, 1 tablespoon at a time, something I clearly did not do. It shouldn't be melted but at room temperature. You need half a cup of butter. My arm was screaming for dear life, so I took a seat, and then I had to knead for an extra 10 minutes or so. It was still kind of sticky, so I added an extra 2 tablespoons of flour, then another sprinkling that was not in the recipe. You want to get a soft but not sticky to your fingers or bowl type of dough. I let it sit in the oven for 1 hour, then I covered with cling film and transferred to the fridge to spend the night. I ended up with 2 brioche doughs, one that was problematic and the good child. I generously lubricated my tins and pressed the doughs in as smoothly as I could get them. I let them sit again for 1 hour to double in size. Now for the best part. In a saucepan, add in equal amounts of honey, sugar and butter. Once it is fully melted, take it off the heat and stir 80 grams of slivered almonds. I saw the dough. The dough saw me. I knew deep in my mind and heart that I should have transferred to a bigger tin, but my stubbornness and laziness prevailed. Half the only thing dripped out in the oven. I had this only thing from the day before because I didn't know life was going to happen, and this unyielding dough deserved leftovers. I stirred in what was left of my almonds and let them bake for about 25 to 30 minutes in a 175-degree oven. Let it cool slightly for about 10 minutes before taking it out from the tin. While I was waiting for the other one to cool, I took a bite, or more like a chunk, from the other one. And let's just keep going. Slice in half, let it cool completely before you assemble. Fluff up your pastry cream and generously apply it to the bottom layer. Cover it. No, remove it again because you are confused. At this point, I realized I should have pre-sliced the top and simply arranged on top. There would have been less oozing. Anyway, lesson learned. So was it a great cake? The texture felt right. The almond topping thing was really nice. I liked that it was crunchy. But for what I went through, I kind of expected more and it just did not hit that spot. I was kind of disappointed. But I like Germany for our story to end here, so I will be back.